recording yet? There we go.
Not yet. Now we go. La, 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 la.
It's
Woo.
Little Metal Foxes on Zoom. Here we go. It's me, Jennifer from Little Metal Foxes, and
Julia from Little Metal Foxes.
Helen from Little Metal Boxes.
Live from Australia. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Apparently it's raining everywhere around the world because it was raining for Helen and it's raining for us.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Oh my God.
It's sunny now, but it was rainy yesterday.
Oh man. Well, speaking of cold and rainy weather, I've got something to talk about. So
Excellent.
I
Something to warm the studio.
warm your little cockles of your heart. Awesome. So one of the gals that is in our open studio classes just got back from Japan, and she took one of the classes in from one of the masters there in Mitsuro, and brought back a great tip for us, which I really appreciated. And I thought it was great because it's not just good for working with Mitsuro, which of course I love, but it's good for warming pickle, warming your patinas, warming your etching solution, warming up thermal lock. It's great for all of these things. And we discussed a few other warming situations, warming opportunities that can kind of come up in the studio. But let me show you, ladies, what I've got.
What you got?
What have I got?
Oh, I gotta not doing my due diligence.
Here we
Go
go.
to YouTube.
Yeah, there we go. Hi. So there we go. It is a little warming. It's like a coffee warmer for like 2 things of coffee. So you can set your little coffee right on there, and you can set it at different degrees. Whoops, turn it on. It goes up to 180 and down to 130, and you can set a timer so it goes in hours. So from 1 to 12 hours. So it has an automatic shut off, which is really kind of nice as well. But the thing I like about this for like Mitsuro is that it will hold the Mitsuro at a constant temperature, which is really nice and allows you to get a beautiful stretch with it. So you can really, do a nice long pull. But like the whole thing is nice and warm. And if you need to, warm up a different area, you can kind of be like, do a pull and kind of dip it in to keep it warm, or even dip your fingers to just warm them up. So it's really kind of nice just as a warm water bath. But I love this part. This is fun. So it comes with this little silicone mat, and you can set your coffee on there.
Or other thing.
Yeah, and the silicone keeps you from like touching the hot surface.
Burning the crap out of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I would so totally burn myself if it didn't have that.
Me too.
So the surface on this is about 4x7, which is great for my little, what have I got? It's a 4x6 little dish that I've got. But yeah, 130 is perfect for this, and that's the lowest setting. But we were talking about other stuff that we could use this for, and we were talking about like thermal lock as well, and friendly plastic and
thermoplastics of various kinds and sorts. Yeah,
thermoplastics and oh gosh, what else? Being able to just put it in the water bath.
Well, I wouldn't put it in a water bath, but I know when I took the casting class with you, you always had a little tin of sticky wax that you would heat on a mug warmer so that you could sprue stuff up easily, or stick parts together or whatever. And so, I have a little metal tin and I have a mug warmer, but this would work perfectly for that too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and some of the students use mug warmers for their pickle. So for a small situation, if you've got like a little cup of pickle, or if you've got, different kinds of dips that you've got for patinas, this could be a really good solution because you can put them both on there and have like, warm pickle, warm water, warm liver of sulfur or whatever you're working with. But yeah, I found for the Mitsuro, this is just perfect. I love it. Some of the let's see, hang on here, let me go back over here. Take that off. So some of the other students had really great suggestions for what they would use theirs for, or other heating solutions. So one of the gals has a one of the silicone and carbon fiber mats that you can just roll up, which is really cool. But it's great for like buffet situations and warming up the turkey dinner. But it's good for stuff when you're having to kind of like dry out your enamels. This is great for that. So
Mhm.
drying out your enamels, drying out some PMC, not in the water, of course, but just right on the surface, right?
So
So
Helen, you had that suggestion for that, for the PMC.
Oh yeah, for the using your Teflon mat to as a barrier, just to keep your warmer clean.
Right. So you would have PMC Teflon warmers. You're not
Yeah,
putting PMC directly on the, and the
correct.
same would go, same for enamels, because you wouldn't want to spill any of the enamel frit on, you'd want something as a barrier
Yeah.
to hold the enamels for while that's drying.
Yeah, and the Teflon's great for that because it's super slick and anything that kind of falls off, you can just toot, toot.
Just
yeah,
dump it off. Yep.
absolutely. Yeah. And you can get that from like PMC supply places, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So
Amazon, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, one of the things I put in my water to keep the Mitsuru from sticking to the bowl is actually just a piece of parchment. And that works really well too. Because stuff doesn't stick to parchment either.
Yeah,
Um,
your baking parchment, it would be perfect too.
yeah,
Because if the Mitsuru sits down in the water, if it touches the glass, it'll stick to the
it'll
glass.
stick to the glass. It doesn't stick to aluminum so bad, but it will stick to steel and to glass.
Oh, okay.
So if it gets a little too hot, it'll stick. So it's kind of
Well,
nice to have it just floating on top of a little magic carpet of the parchment
parchment
paper.
paper, such a smart
Yeah.
thing. I was going to say that actually is one of the issues for me with using thermoplastic is I tend to get it too hot because I just am putting it in boiling water and then I'm putting it in a cup full of boiling water and then the boiling water is cooling down and so it's like it's either too hot or it's too cold. If it's too hot, it's all sticky and it can stick to you and burn you. And so
Yeah.
for thermoplastic, this would be great because it would set it at a particular temperature and then you can get it hot and pliable, but not molten,
Yeah.
not
Well,
like
you can
sticking
hold
to
it at
your
the
skin,
ideal
molten.
temperature, right?
Right, exactly.
So
Well,
yeah,
and the GRS stuff, the GRS Thermolock, you can put that in the microwave to heat it up, but only to start to make it soft before you put it around a piece. Once you have it around a piece and you've got a piece of metal in it, you can't put it back in the microwave. So
right,
you have to have some other way to soften the Thermolock to get it off when you
right.
get done.
And 130, 140 degrees, you've got that stuff that will melt off,
Mhm.
pull it off your piece. That's safe with just about every kind of stone,
Yeah.
whether it's pearl or whatever it is that you're holding. So if you're, setting stones and using Thermalock, this isn't so warm that it's going to be, um, burning it off,
Right.
or damaging your stuff. Um, so
But
yeah,
I love that it has a little digital display. I mean, it's like amazing, I mean, I have mug warmers, but the the good ones have a little light that shows that it's on so that you know that you need to turn it off when you leave the studio. So the
right.
fact that yours has both a timer, which is super smart, and has a digital, like you can set it,
Yeah,
that's makes it so much more useful because otherwise
absolutely.
you're just a slave to whatever the internal temperature of the thing is.
Right? Yeah, and you never know with a coffee warmer if it's gonna like actually do anything. How hot is it?
Right.
With this, I've already
Exactly.
found it's like ideally when I set my latte on there, initially I'll have it at like 180 just to keep the cup warm, and then as I drink down, I'll turn down because I just needed it like
Nice. Oh my God, that is
so.
freaking hilarious.
So it actually works really well. And for the Mitsuru, I know if I get it up to tilting the Mitsuru, but at
Right.
130, it just gets it, to that nice. So thanks to Karen Ulk for bringing that tip
Gulch.
back to us. Yeah. So yeah, there's also another really cool mold material that we've been talking about. That's the composite mold, and it's a thermal like vinyl. Is that
I'm not sure what it's made of. I just know that I have seen a similar product that is vinyl,
yeah?
but it's a remeltable mold material. So once you're done with the mold, then you can just pop it in, a pot and remelt it or melt it and then reuse it. So it's
Yeah.
great.
So we're going to do a little more investigation stuff.
But it's, so I think the deal with the composite mold though is it gets melty enough that it's like viscous. You can pour it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Because like jet set and thermolock and, you know, technically those can be mold materials, but they're putties when they're soft. They're not liquid. They're not.
Well, and they're rigid when they're cold, but the composite mold is like a flexible mold material.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. Now I understand it gets softer when it's hot and it stays softer when
it's like yeah, it's like a vulcanized
Mhm.
rubber mold when it's cool.
Okay,
So you
gotcha.
can
So
like
you can
put it in
bend it to get your wax out or
right,
whatever.
right.
Though I did like your freezer tip.
Oh
Was
yes.
that
Yes.
you, Helen?
Yeah, it was actually from their website. If you want to use wax with this mold, put the mold in the freezer first to get it nice and cold. And then you can pour the hot wax into it and it won't distort the mold. Or is less likely to distort the mold.
Yeah, I love this idea. But you could also use that kind of mold material for like doing your glass, doing like if you're doing the pas de verre.
Yeah,
Hot
for the pot
bear.
there, not for high class, no.
No. But for like for PMC and for all
Yeah.
kinds of other stuff, it would be really, really great. And
For
wow.
Yeah.
molding it, not for firing it, for molding
Right.
it when it's cold, for molding the glass clay or for molding the PMC. Then you have
Yeah,
to take it
or
out of
like,
the mold before you fire it, right?
yeah, or like your investment for either for casting metal or for casting glass, you can make a mold for your investment. And so that way you have something, you know, that you can repeat many times.
So good. So with that, we will check back. But the thing that I think is that drew me to it right away is one that it stays flexible like a rubber mold, and that then when they were done with it, she was like, "Then you just take your scissors and cut it up." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And remelt it. And I'm like, "This is amazing." So I'm really wanting to share this new
You're
technology.
wanting to get some so that you can play with it and do a tooltip.
I do. I want to play with it.
Okay, we can do that. Tooltip for the future, people.
Yeah.
Coming up.
So yeah. So stay warm, everybody, during these cold winter rainy months and play with
Well,
your
you know, it's supposed to be spring, but it's Seattle.
it's
We
chilly.
frequently have
It's so
sprinter
chilly
where it
outside.
just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. You guys have a great week. Hit that button right now. Hit it before we go anywhere. And make sure you subscribe so you know when we are live with Tooltip Tuesdays. And you guys, is there or do we have any questions from the
No, but Valerie did say, hey, she's the one who introduced us to composite mold.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll definitely do a tooltip
Thank you,
on that.
Valerie.
Yeah. So
Valerie's a font of information herself, too.
absolutely.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So make sure you subscribe, like, hit the bell so that you know when we're live. And you can ask us questions and go from there. We're usually here on Tuesday afternoons. So we hope you'll join us. And check out all the other YouTube tips and tricks that we've got. We've got about 200 of them. So lots of free content for you guys to be able to use in your studio, and check out our website with all the classes that are coming up.
Yay.